So, I'm George Zemanek, and this is Edith Featherston and Jeanette Zemanek. It is June 10th, 2018. We are at the Featherston home in Houston, Texas, and we are interviewing Jeanette and Edith today about the legendary Blue Rock. So, Jeanette, can you tell us, where did you grow up? Where were you born?
I was born in Port Arthur, Texas.
Port Arthur, Texas, and
August the 31st, 1940.
thank you. And Edith, where were you born?
In Burton, Texas.
All right. And Jeanette, how long did you remain living in Port Arthur?
Let's see. Daddy and Mama moved up to Carmine. It was in 1945.
And how old were you then?
I was 5.
And was that when you hid in that basket?
Oh, yeah, I hid in Aunt Elsie's basket, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when we moved from Port Arthur to Carmine, and I wanted to stay with Aunt Elsie. And I went and I hid.
In the basket.
Yeah, I hid in that basket because I didn't want to leave Aunt Elsie.
So that was 1945.
Yeah.
And so then after Carmine, so you went from Port Arthur to Carmine, and then when did you leave Carmine?
And then we left Carmine. Let's see, Slugsy was born in 46. We left like in, it was 1946, I remember.
And where did you go after Carmine?
Well, we stayed in the country.
Up in
We didn't
Burton.
move. Up in Burton.
Which house were you living in
Well, when
you first moved?
When we first moved, we lived in a little old store, a little old one-room building Daddy made into a store. And Slugsy, I remember.
Now, was that where you were born, Aunt Edith?
Slugsy,
Wait, no, or were you born in the hospital?
Slugsy was born in the Burton Hospital. And Daddy, the doctor that delivered Slugsy, was so darn drunk that Daddy had to end up delivering her, Daddy and Lorena Cutower, because Dr. Southern was so darn drunk. It was pitiful, and I remember when I woke up the next day, we were supposed to go to school, and I was looking for Mama. I said, "Where's Mama?" Malvern said, "She was at the hospital. She had a baby." I said, "No, she didn't." I said, "Daddy, is that so?" Daddy said, "Yeah, you got a little sister." And I said, "Wee," you know. And then when I got home from school, when Mama came home, she was in that Dolores' house laying on the bed. Clara and Willie Rybowski were still living there. And Clara told you to come let Mama to lay on the bed, and she had Slugsy. And I wanted to hold you, and Mama said, "No, no." But she let me touch your hand.
So that was in 1946.
Yeah,
Okay.
Slugsy was born in November 46.
And y'all said something about the house was built by slaves. What was that? When was that house built?
Lord have mercy,
Isn't
Jesus.
Daddy said the 1800s?
Yeah, 1800. And it was built strong. It had strong bricks underneath it.
And who was that Grandpa Yeager lived in that house?
Yeah, but it
originally?
was somebody else. I think the Beaversteins, and then Grandpa bought the land from somebody. And Grandpa bought it, I think, in 1899, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And so when did, because I'm trying to get the timeline, when did Grandpa build the little house? The one that him and Granny lived
What
in?
little house?
You know, the
mean
little
the one that burned?
Yeah. When
That was
built?
first of all, Daddy didn't build that. He got it. It was down in the pasture there by Fritz Stankin. It was just a little old house, and it was empty. It was just a little old abandoned house, and even old Bonnie and Clyde spent the night in there when they went and robbed that Carmine bank. Daddy bought that little house from Fritz Stankin. I don't know how much he paid for it, but anyway, and then they moved it to, to the place where it was at.
Oh, but y'all were already grown up.
Well, we weren't completely grown.
How old were you?
I
don't remember it.
I remember, let me see, I was about Leslie and Lorena moved in that house, and they married in 47. So it was about 46, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember because Cephas Ray lived there first.
Mm-hmm. Cephas Ray lived there. So
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry,
lived there.
I just said it.
He lived there first. You know, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's, and tell me again what year y'all moved to that house, the small one.
Oh, we didn't move there till when was it? Let's see, 1955.
1955.
Yeah.
So Edith, then you were 11 at that point when y'all moved to that one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is that
No, it's not. It's not. So is it okay if we just keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, when y'all moved, is that when Aunt Dolores and Jack moved into that house? The
big house?
The big
Yeah,
house?
yeah, they moved there. It was in
Okay.
1955. Mama was pregnant with Tubbsy.
But Jeanette, didn't we live in the little house and then we moved to the big house?
Yeah,
and then
well,
we moved back?
no. We in 1955, Dolores moved to the big house, and we moved down to the little house because Daddy went to work in Houston then,
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
Tubbsy, Mama was pregnant with Tubbsy.
That's right.
So he went. Popo went to work in Houston.
Yeah, he went to work in Houston like in 55.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when Granny was pregnant with Uncle Landis.
Yeah.
And then, so when did they get the house on Meadow Grove?
Oh, they moved there in 1965, right after
65.
Slugsy graduated. 65, after Slugsy graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, what year was it that Popo started thinking about selling the farm?
Oh God, he did that so many times.
Well, the first time.
Let's say the first time was in 1955. He got pissed. I don't know what, but anyway. And then my mama said, "I'm not signing no paper. We're not moving. We're not selling the place."
That was in what year was that?
That was in 55.
In 55.
And then it was been a couple of times after that.
So in 1955, Aunt Edith, do you remember all that? Him wanting to sell it?
I just remember some people came to look for it, look
Mhm.
at the place and stuff, and I was in the house and the lady just walked through to look at the house, and then she goes, "Well, we've already looked at the barn," and I'm like, "Okay."
All in our house, a barn, why that witch.
No, she said, "We've already looked at the barn," and I just said, "Okay."
So then they were in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So
But that was when I guess I was around 11.
yeah. So it was and Mama, what did when you first heard that he was thinking about selling it, what did you think about that?
Well, I was just like Will. He started raising hell. And at first I kind of wanted to move, but then I thought, oh, when I get old, and stuff like that, I'd still like the place, being the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that was it.
So you didn't want him to sell
Well,
it.
I know I didn't really want to sell him to sell, but
Was
I was
it
a kid and I couldn't say nothing.
Now, was it because of money? Is that why he was wanting to sell?
Yeah,
or-
mostly money,
Okay. Because he was already working in Houston, and
Not at